Hey guys, and welcome to the next episode of Lost Gaming. I was going to do a little bit of grinding and then forgot that this starts up the next time you log into the game. So as you can see from here, we're hearing about a strange character that looks like a cat hidden in the alleyway of Mackinac. Gives us a little heads up.
I saw it too. I prefer bunny girls though.
Very strange comment there, but hey man, to each their own. Just in case you couldn't follow the mini-map, it even shows you how to get to it. And continue on with this. So let's move on. And let's head down that alleyway and see what's going on.
Hey! I've got a great area that's full of aromatic grass. Wanna go?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, let's get ready then. Mia!
Excuse me! You! Yes, you! That's a unique bracelet.
Whoa!
Can I take a look?
Can you see it?
Yes, of course. Do you mean to say you can't see this nice bracelet? Even if you can't see it. As long as you know it's there, it's the same thing as seeing it, right?
Bracelet? Hey, what are you talking about? I can't see any bracelet, Mia.
Well, thanks a lot for letting me look at your bracelet. I have a feeling I'll use it somehow. Well, see you around.
Wait, Mia! What about the aromatic grass?
So from our little cutscene there, we were introduced to the two new characters, Mia and Elk. As you can see, Mia's no ordinary character because she was able to see Kite's bracelet where nobody else is able to unless he's using the data drain ability. So we know right away that she's not normal, but Elk is.
Okay.
Just a very interesting little aside.
Yeah? What's up? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'll take it.
So, but as we see, that was just a very interesting little aside that's going to be important later. But for the time being, let's go and we'll just do a quick little run through for this before we log out of the game, just so that you can sort of get a feel for how the game works. So with those keywords, we've got us a nice little fire field. So let's use a fairy orb and let's take a look at what's going on here. We'll go ahead and get a speed charm on Kite so we can move around a little faster. So as you can see, without Orca, things are a little bit harder for us. not that bad. As you do damage to characters, you'll protect break them. Once you protect break them, you can use data drain. Let you get virus cores. Oh, and as you can see, we're dead. Let's see here. Okay, so she resurrected me. Now, as you can see, we're in a mess. So we're going to run away. As long as battle mode is on, you cannot escape. But if you run far enough away from your enemies, eventually the battle mode will go away. It just, there we go, battle mode off. Now we just need to get out of here. We just took us to a little bit higher level than needed to at first, but just sort of giving you an idea of how this game works. So we'll log out so we can continue the story. So when we read this, that kind of sounds a little bit like Aura, doesn't it? So maybe that might be something worth us investigating. Here's where they talk about the test version of the world that was called Fragment. It was, if anybody's familiar with Sword Art Online, you could essentially call it the beta of the world. And players who played it could be, or just the beta testers. This is also very interesting. When this player tried to use these keywords, the game locked him out and wouldn't let him in. This is something good to know for later as well. But here's something since we nearly got a game over just then. We've been given a good keyword for beginners. So it starts out pretty easy, but there's 5 floors to the dungeon, and the farther you go down, the more powerful the enemies get. So it might not be something that we can take care of completely just yet, but getting a little bit more information here just sort of tells us a little bit about some difficulty levels, and it also tells us the highest enemy level in the Delta server is 20, but other servers, that you can see, it gets more powerful. This sort of gives you a little breakdown of the elements for the fields and what kind of enemies you might see, but that's really all the information that we've got there. So if we pull back out completely, as you can see, nothing else here right now. So let's log back in. And move along a little bit.
Okay.
So since that didn't go so well for us, let's just play around with some levels, and this one ought to be a little bit easier for us. Alright, sometimes in the monster chests you'll get treasures. Fortune wire, we'll open it up, and now we have a bandana. And you see that went a whole lot easier, so this is a little bit easier. Grunty food. I'll explain that after this battle, real quick. And you see that didn't take you long at all. And they dropped us a nice little item. So, grunty food. Later on, this will be important, but you feed these to your grunty, it'll develop different abilities for them, and they will grow into different forms. You're going to want to collect as much of this as you can because there's lots of different grunties to collect, and it all gives different things as you use it. Alright, so now we've got a level up, so things ought to go a little bit easier for us from here on out. So since we've got 2 of those now, why don't we check out Bandana and see how it compares to our Nomad's Hood. As you can see, our regular defense and evasion goes down, but our magic evasion and defense goes up. For right now, I think I'm going to hold off and keep the Nomad's Hood on. Most of the enemies that we're running into right now are a little bit more appropriate for having just regular defense. One of the important things that I didn't mention before is that as your virus level increases, the only way to get it down is to defeat enemies without using data drain. The more you defeat, the more quickly your virus infection level will go down. It's very important information to keep in your head. Every so often in the field you'll also find some nice little buffs to have. You're definitely going to want to data drain everything that you can get a hold of. These enemies will give you some stuff that you sometimes can't get a hold of any other way. And it's just good to have extra stuff everywhere you can. Plus it usually takes a while for your infection level to increase too much. So just using it to help you build up your inventory is pretty good. The only downside is it usually causes you to not be able to gain as much experience. Okay, but rather than grinding out anymore, we will call this an end to the episode, and I'll see you next time on Lost Gaming.